Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Junto Presents. Join us at Franklin Manor, home to the Junto, a gentleman's club in the classic style where adventurers, mystics, and other unique individuals gather to socialize and conduct their private business. We offer you a glimpse at the strange and wonderful things to be found there.
Hello and welcome to the latest mini-episode from the halls of Franklin Manor. My name is David Parkin.
And I'm Robert Gibbs. Today we're coming to you from the East Wing Statuary, the largest of the three statuaries on the manor grounds, not including either of the sculpture gardens or the aviary. And technically, I guess you could count the armory as well, so if we take that into
Rob.
I'm sorry, I'm doing it again.
Maybe we should just start with, what's a statuary?
You're right. Sorry, everybody. This is kind of my thing. A statuary is a room in which one keeps his or her collection of statues. Not really included in most modern homes, but here they're pretty important.
Who doesn't love statues?
Right? I mean, as we speak, we're sitting across from a likeness sculpted by Cyrus Edwin Dallin himself, the sculptor best known for the Paul Revere statue outside the Old North Church in Boston.
A one-time temporary meeting house for the Junto.
Yes.
This site where Thomas Newman famously hung two lanterns in the bell tower to signal the planned British route for their march on Concord.
Yes.
And then he leapt out a second-story window to avoid detection, which, if you've ever seen how high that window is off the ground, you'd understand how it's a total Jackie Chan move. Legend says he landed on the back of his horse before riding off into the Boston fog. Of course, there's no proof of that, but I like to imagine that. Sorry, now I'm doing it.
In addition to the Revere statue, Cyrus Edwin Dallin was responsible for many great works commissioned just for Franklin Manor,
including the work standing across from us right now. The likeness of a mysterious and controversial figure, a man named Finnegan Stoker.
Yeah, well, describing him as controversial is putting it lightly.
Agreed.
Stoker was known to stir fear and hatred among the Junto from its very beginning, not to mention within the colonies themselves.
In fact, his very name and identity are still hotly debated among Junto members. Some who knew the bronze face staring back at us knew it as Finnegan Stoker. Yet others, like the sculptor, knew it as Oxford scholar and schoolteacher George Webb. So what's the truth? You want to take this one, Rob?
Well, the truth is, both are correct. Stoker was a wanted man for most of his life. An unfair designation that Stoker claimed was a conspiracy bent on destroying his and his entire family's reputation.
The reason, and this is information only meant for the ears of us members of the Junto, Finnegan Stoker and the entire Stoker clan were witch hunters.
Well, some believe that story and some don't. But Ben Franklin, for whatever reason, helped establish an alter ego for his friend so that he could live free from the constant harassment of the hierarchy of governments, both foreign and abroad, who vowed to destroy Finn and his Irish clan.
It's a story we'll get into further as we discuss the history of the Junto, its friends, and its enemies. Until then, there the statue sits, with two brass placards below it, one describing the life of a humble schoolteacher, and another describing a man who fought until his death against the darkest edges of the night.
Ooh, I just got chills.
Then you must be in his sights, Rob.
Okay, more on that later.
Yeah.
Before we go, we have our first ever question sent in from a listener.
Do we now?
Yes, we do. Sent by Laura Bogle from Columbus, Ohio.
Hello, Laura.
The email reads, in the opening of your podcast, the Junto is referred to as a gentleman's club, but I know you have women members. Has that always been the case?
Now, this is an excellent question, and I'm glad it's our first. In the time of colonial America, the word gentleman referred to the son of a nobleman or a high-born son.
In those days, a gentleman's club looked pretty much how you would picture one.
Ooh la la.
No, not that kind of gentleman's club. Classic social club in the Victorian style with haughty and arrogant members who look down their noses at blue-collar workers like Ben Franklin and his friends.
Of course, Franklin couldn't stand those types, so he established a club for people gentlemen's clubs would never allow inside.
Like women, for example.
Yes, he liked to ruffle feathers like that.
And ruffle feathers he did.
Right, like when Thomas Penn, the wealthy son of a founder of Pennsylvania, discovered his own wife Elizabeth was not only a member, but served as a high-ranking official in the club.
She wrote once how much she loved watching her husband turn red when she'd tell him she was on her way to the gentleman's club. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. If any of you other members out there have questions, please email Hobson, our spectral head of communication, by way of deadletter@thejuntopresents.com. We'd love to hear from you.
It would be good for Hobson. He's afraid of computers.
Ugh. Yeah, he's afraid of a lot of things for a ghost.
Agreed. As always, if you're listening to the show on iTunes, please subscribe and leave us a review.
And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
Thanks, everyone. We'll be back soon with a regular episode.
Thanks. Take care.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die.
The Junto Presents is brought to you by Dreams in the Witch House, a Lovecraftian rock opera available at witchhouserocks.com. Tonight's miniature program was written and produced by Mr. David Parkin and Mr. Robert J. Gibbs. It was edited by Mr. Timothy Thompson. I am your announcer, James K. Riley, reminding you that the Junto are dedicated to mutual improvement in the lives and business they embody. Who are the Junto? Perhaps, dear listener, the Junto is you.